Getting started right here with our feature interviews. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, so I'm smiling a lot because we are discussing a lot behind the scenes. I don't know what happens to be your New Year resolution this year, but I'm very sure that finance is a big factor or a major factor. I'm thinking of saving 20 cedis every single day throughout the entire year, and I'm hoping to get 7,300 by the end of the year. What is your budget for the year? What are you planning on, or how much are you planning on saving, and how much are you hoping to get at the end of this year? So this morning we are here, or we are about to teach you how to be intelligent about your finances, how to save, how to be conscious. Those of us who've been doing spontaneous buying, this one is for you. Just like I'm seated right here. Let's discuss our finances this year, okay? So our topic this morning is building financial intelligence, a fresh start for the new year. Building financial intelligence, a fresh start for the new year. Our guest this morning is none other than Mr. Peter ASARE NYARKO. He is a certified financial coach and executive director for CFLE Africa. Good morning, Mr. ASARE.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be back.
Oh. I don't know if you're on TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
Yes,
I don't know if you've chanced on the sound that says that. Because I can see that the money. It's good to see you. Happy New Year.
Yeah, many happy returns. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot in mind, you know, we're talking about finance, saving here and there. But me personally, I think I shared with you guys, I have a susu box at home. I wouldn't lie, I'm not going to shy away from it. And, you know,
this is you trying to say that, okay, I'm saying it, but don't shout at me.
Don't shout at me, not at all. And anytime I need the money, I told you I have a small metal that I put back into the susu box and I push the money back. Is it that I'm not intelligent with my finance, or because I think I've saved, right?
Yeah.
And at the point I need the money. That is why I'm bringing out that money that has been
nothing
saved.
to do with intelligence.
So, let's break the ice.
I think this one, and you will bring off him.
Yeah. So great. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Yes, but before we go into the conversation, let me use this opportunity to congratulate the president.
Right.
for the Republic of Ghana yesterday. It was exciting.
Historic.
Yes, so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and first female vice president for the Republic of Ghana, Professor Nana Jane Ajiman. We want to congratulate you, and we are saying that don't disappoint Ghanaians, because we voted for you to build a better Ghana.
Okay.
So I'm using this opportunity to say that don't disappoint us. Yes, the inaugural speech was full of hope, especially for the youth of Ghana, and so we know they will deliver. Yes, so let's come back to our finances.
Right.
So yes, with yours, I think it's the discipline.
Okay.
You see, with financial intelligence, you need the discipline.
Okay.
Someone will have all the information, but if their attitude and behavior it's not translating to what they believe is good. True. You believe it's good to save money, and you have started saving the money, but because you haven't built that culture, that habit, you go in there, take the money and use the money. So you are not able to follow through the goal that you've set for yourself. So it's more of a discipline or a habit. Yes. So you need to build that habit over time. And once you set the goal, make sure you follow through with the goal. Yes. Yeah. Once you do that, you'll be able to meet your savings goal.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then regarding the topic, what does financial intelligence also mean?
Yeah, so basically, all the monies that come to you, you should be able to utilize them well. You should be able to make plans for them. This is how much I am using for this month. This is what I'm using this amount of money for. And so making plans or setting out strategies for your money so you get the most out of the money that comes to you. So basically, when we talk about financial intelligence, that's what we are trying to say.
Okay, that's actually great. So it means that in this case, or when it comes to finance, discipline and intelligence are two different things altogether.
Absolutely.
But how different?
Great. So the intelligence is more of you having the knowledge. So you have the knowledge. You know it's good. You know how to go about your finances. But the discipline is the habit to follow through. You know, there's this saying that the messenger is different from the message. But I don't believe in it. The messenger and the message should be one.
Okay.
So your actions and your behaviors should translate or should be a reflection of what you have. So someone can be financially intelligent, but if their action and behavior is not translating to that, then they will not have the discipline to manage their money well. So there are two different things. You can have all the knowledge, you can have all the information, but if your attitude and behavior. So when you go to financial literacy, when you take financial literacy, we talk about three things. We talk about your knowledge and skill set. That's one. We also talk about your attitude, and then your behavior. So when you combine all these three, that is when you are financially literate. Yeah.
Okay, and I think it's also important that we assess ourselves even before we start with being intelligent about it, and also the discipline will also come in. So as at this moment, if we are using myself as an example, how can I assess my current financial standing?
Great. So to begin the year, just like you've rightly said, the first thing you need to do is to do an assessment of the previous year. What went wrong? What went right? How was I spending my money? So your spending pattern, your savings pattern. I set a goal for myself. I wanted to save 3,000 Ghana cedis for 2024. Was I able to do that? What went wrong? So you do an assessment of what went wrong, what went right from the previous year. And now for you to start on a fresh note, you need to understand your situation. After assessing my previous year, now I know I have 2,000 in my bank account. Right. I know my savings pattern wasn't right. I was not able to follow through my savings goal. So what should I do so I can increase my income? So that I'll have more money in my bank account. I'll be able to save more money. So you take a clue from the previous year and then you use that to set a new pattern for the new year. So you look at what went wrong, then you correct that. What went right, you improve on that, and that will help you start the year right.
Okay. So with a follow-up question, we have a lot of people who are actually not disciplined when it comes to saving, and most importantly, that's why they even have how do you call it, a special attention when they move to the banks. You have a special banker, someone who actually assists you to how to go about your financial setting. Do you think it's very necessary for every individual to have let me say a financial expert or someone who would be able to guide them through with saving and how to plan their finances?
Great, sure. I think every individual needs an accountability partner. And so I have a group that I coach. And so beginning of the year, we will set a goal. I'll sit with you, we set a goal together. Every month, I'll come back to you, make sure you are following through what we set out to do. And so every individual needs an accountability partner. It can be a financial coach, it can be a financial planner, it can be a banker. Someone that you trust, someone that can look you in the face and tell you, do this right. Make sure you are following through with your savings goal. Have you saved the money that you said you saved this month? And so it is important for everyone to get an accountability partner.
Okay, and now moving back to our homes, let's talk about the traditional ways of saving, because I think it's one way a lot of people are really exposed to. And with the susu box, I know how tempting it can be sometimes.
Yeah.
Would you advise I do the susu box, or the money is supposed to go into the bank, where maybe traveling to the bank is going to be very lazy for me, so I think, okay, it's very cool, I do the saving in the bank. Do you think it's very good to do with the traditional way, or now with the modernized way of saving, that's the most important thing?
So with that, I think both of them are important. But then here is the case. So for example, if you receive a monthly paycheck,
okay,
and then your money goes into your bank account, you can create a savings account and automate your savings.
Okay.
So you can put the standing orders and tell the bank, every month take 50 cedis from my account to my savings account. So with that one, you don't need to go to the bank. But then if you don't have that opportunity to put standing orders, automate your savings, and so mostly what I tell people is, yes, you need to get a susu box.
Okay.
But that susu box, make sure every month or every 3 months, you take the money out and send it to the bank.
Okay.
If you are someone who will go into your susu box and take your money, then make sure every month or every 3 months you are taking your money to the bank. So that you don't have the money with you.
So not necessarily you spreading it out in the year.
No. If you are someone who has built that discipline, and you know, for me, I will not go into my susu box, I will not break into my susu box, then you can decide to do a 1 year. But then if you don't have that habit, do 1 month, take it to the bank. Do 3 months, take it to the bank. That will help you stay consistent.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think even with the 3 months, 1 month, you can actually proceed and you can try a year.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a perfect
way. And another way is you can also invest that money. So if I put money in my susu box for, let's say, 3 months, I can take that money and use it to buy an investment or do an income generating business. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
But talking about some of these investments, I know that a lot of people do it a lot. And people also, it's like you taking a risk. And you advise us that taking such risks or investing is very, very important. But we do it, and then sometimes you don't end up even getting anything. So how can one determine that this is a good investment and this is not a good investment? Because I think it has really become a popular thing that people are doing.
Yeah, great. So with investment, they all come with risk.
Okay.
But then, as an individual, you need to understand your risk appetite or your risk tolerance. And so someone has a high risk appetite. So for him, he wants to put his money at risk because he's looking at a greater probability of earning more. He wants to take risks with that money. Someone who does not want to take risks with money, you can also look at the low risk investments. So mostly, the higher the reward, the higher the risk. So if you're looking for more reward, then you need to understand that you have the probability of losing that money. If you're looking for, let's say you want to protect your money. For me, I don't want to lose my money. I'll go for low risk investment. I'll buy fixed deposits. I will buy T-bills. I will do some mutual funds. So these are low risk investments. But the interest or the reward is also very low. So you need to understand that. But then if you want to go for the high risk investment, understand that you also stand a higher percentage of losing that money. But then anytime you are going for a high risk investment, make sure you can afford to lose that money. So I tell people, build your reserve first before you go into high risk investment. So if I have 20,000 and I want to use 5,000 for a high risk investment, even if I lose that money, I have a backup. So you need to put that structures in place. But start, if you don't want to lose your money, then start with a low risk investment. To protect your capital and build it over time.
And I think that reality is that most of the time we have needs and wants. And that is what compromises our savings a lot. So in this case, how can we also prioritize our savings without compromising our basic needs?
Sure. So one, you have to build a budget for every month. So 2025, make sure every month you have a budget. This budget should look at your rent and accommodation. So one, rent and accommodation. We all need a place to put our head. So decide every month, how much do I want to spend on my rent or accommodation? Note it down. You should also look at food, because we all need energy to go about our daily business. Note that one too down. Transportation or fuel is also very important. Then we can talk about your, let's say, data. Yes, internet bundles. It's also very important now. So, and then your utilities, water bill, electricity bill, and those things. So budget for all of these items. Once you budget for them, these things are needs. You cannot do away with them. If you want your life to move on, you have to spend money on them. So budget them and know how much you want to spend on that money. So let's say you've budgeted for all that, and every month you have to spend, an average you have to spend 2,000 on that. Now ask yourself, how can I increase my income so I don't use all my income to spend on my needs? So this is where you need to look for ways to increase your income. So most I tell people, spend less than you make, or earn more than you are spending. So if you are spending 2,000 on your needs, then your income should be more than that. And so ask yourself, if monthly you are being paid 1,500 and your expenses is 2,000, your needs is 2,000, then you have to cut down on your expenditure. So if you are renting a 2-bedroom apartment, then maybe you need to get a chamber and hall so that it will reduce your cost to match your income. So mostly because we want to feel good, look good, do good, we mostly spend beyond our income.
True.
Mostly spend beyond our income. So look at your expenses and then look at your income. If your income is less than your expenses, decide to cut down some of your expenditure. If you cannot do that, then look for ways to increase your income. Maybe do a part-time job, build a new skill and monetize it over time, so you can go beyond your monthly expenses.
Okay. So we've spoken about needs and all that, paying for utility bills but now let's talk about debt. Definitely sometimes, we have a lot to pay for and all that. And with debt management, what role does it play in financial intelligence?
It's very important to clear off your debt. Even the Bible says that the borrower is a slave to the lender. So once you owe other people, it puts pressure on you. So anytime you get money, you are thinking about, Charlie, let me sort this person out. And so it's important to clear off your debt. And to clear off your debt, there are different ways you can do that. So we have the snowball method.
Okay.
We have other methods where you list all your debt. So if you are owing, let's say, 3 people, you owe one 2,000, one 5,000, and one, let's say, 1,000. And then, yes. So after listing your debts, first, make sure you clear off your smaller debt first.
Okay.
So if you are owing 2,000, 5,000, and 1,000, pay the 1,000 off. It gives you momentum to pay the rest. And then clear the 2,000, clear the 3,000. So that's one way you can, by paying off the smaller debt. Another way is to pay off the debt with the higher interest.
Okay.
So let's say if the 2,000, the interest on that 2,000 is, let's say, 15%. The interest on the 5,000 is 5%, and the interest on the 1,000 is 10%. Pay the 2,000 first, because every month the 15% is going to happen. But if you pay that debt off, one, you have eliminated the interest on that money. You have also cleared that debt, and then move to the second with the highest interest. So the 1,000 with the 10% interest, you clear that off, and then the 5,000 with the 5% interest. So these are some of the methods you can use to clear your debt. Make sure you know all your debts. Make sure you have list them. You know the interest on them. One, you can decide to clear the smaller debt first, or two, you can decide to clear the debt with the highest interest. Yeah.
And how can inflation also affect our personal financial plans?
Yes. So inflation, you know, when you have 10,000 Ghana cedis today, compared to, let's say, 2023, when you have 10,000, what you could have done with that 10,000, you can't do with the 10,000 because of inflation matters. And so mostly inflation can catch up with your money to reduces the value. So what you need to do is that always make sure your money is working for you. So I tell people your money must work hard, as hard as you are working. So every morning, money is also doing that. So put your money to work. Don't save to save.
Okay.
So people put all their money in the bank and they think, Charlie, we'll scout my account tomorrow. I'm creating wealth. No, your money is reducing. So put that money to investments. So save to invest. Once it's saved for, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, a year, put that money to work. The money in your bank account, if they are going to lie there with, even fixed deposit can help. So use them to buy some income generating investments that will add value to your money.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Now let's talk about the year 2025. You know, it's a fresh start. People are right here. What do you think are some of the common financial mistakes we make early in the year?
Right. So the first one will be not setting goals for 2025. So I tell people, first and second week in January, you should know how much you want to make in the year. So I know how much I want to make in 2025. And then you strike an average for it.
Okay.
So let's say if you want to make 60,000 Ghana cedis in 2025, break it down. So 60,000 divided by 12. So every month you know how much you make for the month. It gives you a realistic view. But once you break it down every month and you know every month I need to make, let's say, 1,000 cedis, and you check your income and you cannot save 1,000 cedis to meet your end of year goal, then your goal is not smart enough. It is not measurable. You cannot achieve it. So you need to try to set smart goals. Goals that can be specific, goals that can be achievable and all that. So first, set financial goals. Set goals for even your personal needs.
Needs and all that.
Can be spiritual, it can be emotional. Because I tell people, financial goals are life goals with financial implication. Because you want to grow in the spirit, you will need money.
Definitely.
When you go to church, you give offering.
True.
Try and set goals for that.
For all these things.
Because you need emotional support. It comes with money.
Definitely.
Yes.
So but I like the eye-opening conversation we are having, because with the offering thing, it's never crossed our mind. We think it's normal. But we're supposed to budget it. But with this whole spiritual thing that we are talking about, sometimes they go like, oh, you need to give from your heart and all that. So it looks like when it comes to that side of our life, we are not really given a figure to it.
Exactly. But when you go to church, when people are giving more than you are, then they have more than you have. But maybe you are not being financially intelligent.
Yes. See, before you can, so the Bible says that he who is faithful with little will be given more. So if God is giving you little, all you need to do is to be faithful. And so make sure when you go to church, you give according to your means.
True.
You don't give beyond your means. If you don't have it, if all you have is, let's say, 5,000, and you go out there and give 10,000, where from that 5,000? You are even cheating God. You see? So you need to give according to your means. You will be led by the Spirit, but make sure you are giving according to your means. Yes. That's the only way you can get more. So factor all those things into your financial goals. Factor all those into your financial goals. And 2, limit your spending in 2025. Limit your spending in 2025.
Amen.
Yes. Yes, I know sometimes
overwhelming.
Sometimes we just want to spend to meet all our needs. Let me not even say needs, our wants. Yes, our wants. There are a lot of things that we want. Our wants are unlimited. Today you want a new watch. Tomorrow you want a different one. Today you buy iPhone 16. iPhone 17 is coming. So our wants, we cannot always meet our wants. But then once you budget for your spending or you limit them, you are able to save enough money. And so one thing we can also do is that we should save to get the things that we want. Save to get the things that you want. If you want to buy iPhone 16, save to get it. That will even give you more fulfillment because you have really draw a plan and you have worked it out and it has worked for you.
Okay.
So let's save to 2025. Look at me, save to get your wants. Yes,
It's very, very, very true.
Save to get your wants. Everything that you want, you can get it because there are abundance of resources in the world.
Yeah.
But then you need to take steps. Nothing happens overnight.
Yeah.
Save to get your wants, and you will achieve them.
And also another thing that we haven't tackled is, emergencies.
Yeah.
There are so many unexpected emergencies. If you're unlucky, someone is passing away. If you're lucky, someone is marrying and you have to do, come through and all of that. Sickness or illness is also a factor. So how can we also better prepare for such emergencies in our lives?
Yes. So emergencies are key. So as part of the budget, I forgot to add giftings and donations. Giftings and donations. Because you are not an island. People will depend on you. And so make provisions for that. So tell yourself every month, I'm going to give out, let's say, 500 cedis. Once you have exhausted that 500 cedis, you don't need to go beyond that. It should be within your budget. So if someone call you from the house, your family, we need this amount to do this. Go to your giftings, the category that you've created for giftings. Look into that amount. How much do I have there? If you have stated 500, you can decide to give that 500 out. But if you go in there and you don't have money there, make sure they can go to another person. One thing, the one reason why they say rich people are wicked people is that they go according to their budget. And so if they have stated that this month we are giving out 10,000 cedis, and you come and the 10,000 is exhausted, they won't, you have to wait for next month. You have to wait for next month. So we should make provisions for giftings and donations in our budget. And then we should also make provisions for emergency. And so what we advise is at least save 6 months of your monthly expenses. Put it in a separate account. So that's an emergency account. If your monthly expenses is 2,000, make sure you have 2 times 6. That's 12,000, right? Yes, you have 12,000 in an emergency fund account. And so if something happens, you can cover yourself for 6 months in preparation of getting another source of income. Yeah.
Long way to go.
But it is possible.
It is.
Let's reset.
Yeah.
It is possible for us.
What God cannot do. This one, what we cannot do, because
we'll actually make it happen.
The Bible also says He helps those who have helped themselves.
Yes. So let me say this. With finances, you don't need huge amount of money to start your personal financial planning. It is the little. So if you have 1 CD, you can budget within that 1 CD. If you have 10 CD, so budget according to your means. My situation will be different from your situation. Your situation will be different from Evergreen's situation. But then each of us can budget within our means. Yeah. And then we shouldn't look at other people. We shouldn't buy pressure for ourselves. When you look at other people, you will do things that you are not supposed to do, and that will hurt your financial progress. Yeah.
All right. So talking about side hustles, how can one leverage on that to improve on financial stability?
So, one, with side hustles, what you need is skill set.
Okay.
What you need is skill set. So mostly people emphasize on getting the money, but I believe once you build a skill set, it puts you at a better way of monetizing it. So, for example, you are a TV presenter. Aside TV presenting, what other skill set do you have? Maybe you have communication skills. You can do an MC for someone. Because you have that skill set, you can monetize it outside your work environment.
Okay.
You are a teacher. What other skill set do you have? So maybe you are good at organizing or event planning outside teaching on the weekends. You can be putting events together for other people.
Yeah.
So aside your day job, the work that you do, you should get another skill set that will help you get an extra stream of income. And use that as a side hustle. Don't depend on one source of income. Make sure you are creating multiple streams of income. And another way is leveraging investment. It's also a side hustle. This time, you are not directly involved. So I tell people, create a business, get someone you trust, and leave the business to the person. Okay. Buy a car for someone, and make sure, even if the person is giving you 100 CDs a day, 100 CDs a day, you let the person make 500 CDs. Let the person give you 100 CDs a day. That 100 CDs will double over time. But one thing is, when we start a business and we give it to someone, we don't want the person to also benefit from the business. Yeah. When you do that, the person will not commit. But make sure the person is getting something from the business. They will even protect it for you because they are getting a greater reward from it. So set out side businesses, leave it to people, make sure those people are benefiting from the business, and get a percentage from that business. It will help your financial journey.
Okay. So I want us to get a little bit political, all right, with this whole thing, because we have our financial sector right here in Ghana, and anytime people are talking and are buying more and I'm intimate to say 100%, or let me say with the rest assurance that we have, do you think with the way we spend, with the way we really move about, it really has to do with the government?
So with every country, there are some factors that you need to consider.
Okay.
And so there are political factors, the economic factors, there are social factors. But then all of these factors, so we have the public services. And so the government is supposed to create an enabling environment for we the citizens to thrive.
Okay.
And so if taxes are high, if utilities, electricity and all that, if they are high, definitely to have an effect on the citizens. But then the other aspect is that the private sector should also work together with the public sector. So let's say if the public sector, the government is putting structures in place, and the private sector is doing something different, it also has an effect on the people. So the government, because let's say inflation is a bit high, people are even selling beyond what they are supposed to sell. They are making profits more than what they are supposed to make. So I went to buy something, and the thing I'm buying, I know it has no relationship with inflation, but the person say, Charlie, inflation because dollar no.
It was true, yeah.
The dollar no was true. When we do this to ourselves, we can't blame the government.
Okay.
So both of us have a role to play. The government should create that enabling environment, make sure taxes, utilities, and all those things are reasonable. And then we, the citizens, we should also play our part by not inflating our product and services.
Okay. Yeah. And lastly, just putting you in a very tight space, because since you find yourself in the financial world and all that. So a year under review, let's go back into 2024. Do you think our financial sector or our finances, you know, was actually in the right step, or do you think we struggled a lot from your point of view?
Looking at, so if you say 2022, 2023, I'll say we really suffered.
2022, 2023.
Yes, because inflation was around 54 and all that.
Okay.
But in 2024, I think the government was trying to
manage the whole thing.
Manage the situation. Inflation came down to 20 something, and the dollar now around 14 and all those things. So they were improving upon that. And so 2024, yes, it wasn't a good year, wasn't a bad year, but then I know 2025 things will change. Yes, so we should just put the strategy.
It was a wonderful. Okay, so lastly, I think it's also important that as families, when you give birth or when you are raising a child, it's important that finances are also something that we educate our children about. So what will be the advice that you want to give families, parents watching us? Because recently we've been talking about how parents should, you know, do sex education and all of that. I think finance is also a very important topic.
Yeah, it's very, very important. So I have a book, Teaching Children Financial Freedom.
Okay.
Teaching Children Financial Freedom. And this is for parents and educators. So with children learn more when they observe. Yes, when they observe, when they see things. And so one thing is, when you are taking financial decisions, involve your children. So when you're going to the market, sometimes you can go with your kid and buy tomatoes. Let them see how you are negotiating for the tomatoes. Let them see how you are negotiating for the things that you buy. When you're going to the bank, take them along. Let them have a conversation with the bank manager. Tell them about savings. Get them a susu box to start putting their coins. When I